Ziswa kanjani ke nokuthi futhi ifaka kanjani.
Are you involved in any training regarding the product?
My Lord, the training department currently reports to me, so yes, I'm closely involved in training of staff members as well as clients of ours on the functionality and features of the solutions we provide.
Laba ke noma ke section lena ke training ke bona ba report kumina ke ukuthi ngisebenzisana nabo ke ngiyabaqeqesha ke abangaphakathi ke emsebenzini kanye futhi nawo ama clients ke nawo ngiyabanikeza ke uqeqesho ukuthi ke ama feature kanye futhi nendlela yokusebenza kwayo I product lena ukuthi ihamba kanjani.
Are you involved in any training beyond the shores of this country?
My Lord, I've been involved in training in the middle, or what do I call it, Middle East, not really Middle East, but the eastern side of our world, in Malaysia. I've worked in Australia on projects. I've worked in America, Africa. So yeah, that's the extent of my services abroad.
Ngisebenzile ke kwindawo eziningi ke la noma nginikeza khona ke uqeqesho noma ke I-training eAmerica ke ichazile iAfrica iAustralia kanye futhi ke neMalaysia.
Now, does your company Sea-Track Fleet Management have any relationship with the South African Police Service?
Yes, my Lord. Sea-Track Fleet Management provides solutions, or a solution to the South African Police Force in terms of a AVL system, automated vehicle locator, that we install in the SAPS vehicles.
Yebo siyasebenzisana ke namaphoyisa ke aseNingizimu Afrika kwimoto zabo ke sifaka lokhu ke noma ke system ebizwa ngokuthi ke iAVL.
Mr. Dupree, you can continue and tell the court in your own words how this product works and the nature of the relationship with the South African police.
My Lord, the nature of the relationship with the South African Police Force is we've been awarded a tender to install these tracking devices in this SAPS fleet. We've been doing so for a number of years, and the system entails that we...
Just a minute, to just give the interpreter a chance.
Indlela ke esisebenza ngayo namaphoyisa ke ukuthi sanikezwa ke lomsebenzi iqelezi ke le tender ke yokuthi sifake ke kwimoto zabo ke le system ke lena ebizwa ngokuthi iyona iAVL futhi ke sekuyiminyaka ke sisebenzisana nabo.
It involves our staff installing hardware in the SAPS vehicles. This hardware is equipped with a GPS.
Lokho ke kuhlanganisa ke noma kufaka ke ukuthi ke abasebenzi bethu ke noma istaff sethu ke bafake ke ama hardware kwimoto zawo amaphoyisa ke futhi leyo hardware leyo ke ine GPS.
There's also a GSM modem with a SIM card in it. And this device is then connected to the wiring of the SAPS vehicle.
SIM card.
Yeah, that's correct.
Futhi ke kufakwa ke okubizwa ngokuthi ke imodem ke kuyona ke le imodem ke eGMS ene SIM card kuyona.
Can I just explain?
What did you say after the SIM card? Sorry.
Connected to the vehicle.
Okay. Futhi ke yona ke ehlanganiswa noma ke connectwa ke kuyona ke imoto.
Can I ask you to explain these technical terms as you go along? GPS stands for?
GPS represents Global Positioning System. That is just a normal location service. Allows us to know where the vehicle is.
General picture.
GPS, Global Positioning System.
I-GPS yona ke i-Global Positioning System yona ke echazayo ke ukuthi noma ke ikunikeza ke ukuthi ikuphi nendawo ke
Yes, and GSM?
GSM is the cellular network, the simple term for it, as we all know it. So it's just a means of communication from the device to another environment. So it's communication, cellular communication.
Lana ke i-GSM lona ke uxhumana ke lokho okhona ke phakathi kwayo i-device lena ke kanye futhi ke ne-location noma indawo ke ethize.
Yes.
The system would then allow, the system installed is connected to the vehicle, and that allows us to know whether the vehicle is switched on, switched off, is it traveling, is it standing still, at which speed is it, and where is it.
Lana ke lokhu nje lokuxhumana lokhu ke la engithi khona ke lokuxhumana phakathi kwale system ebizwa ngokuthi i-GSM iyona ke esichazelayo ukuthi imoto yenzani, imoto iyahamba, imoto imile, imoto ixeshiwe ke futhi ke isiphi isivinini ehamba ngaso.
The data collected on the vehicle is then relayed or transferred or transmitted over the GSM network to a centralized environment located in numerous.
Let's take that slow. Can you repeat? Let's take that slow. Can you repeat?
The data provide or
Raise your voice. Yeah.
the data recorded
Yes.
by the system on the vehicle.
Yes. Lokhu ke noma le mininingwane etholakalayo ke iyayo imoto ekhona ke. Yes.
Is transmitted via the GSM network, the cellular network,
Iyandluliswa ke idluliswa ngayo ke le network lena ke ibizwa ngokuthi i-GSM.
to a centralized environment in numerous.
Ithathwa ke isiwe ke kwindawo ke e-centralized noma ke emaphakathi ke kulona lokho okubizwa ngokuthi i-numerous.
And what is numerous?
That's it's the numerous is just a building name. That is the premises of the State Information Technology Agency.
State
SITA, State Information.
or SITA.
Yeah, SITA.
Lana ke nje unumerous lona ke kusho nje ability ke ukuthi ke ngathi ke i-State Information Technology Agency.
The AVL data is housed in this environment, and from this environment it can be accessed by registered users.
Lana ke manje ke le information ke manje ke ila indluliswa noma ke igcinwa khona lapho ke ukusuka lapho ke ingathi ke manje isiyandlulisela noma ke futhi ikwazi utholwa yilaba abanelungelo noma abamele ukuthi ke bayisebenzise.
Such registered users, my lord, will only have access to vehicles that they are allowed to see or is allocated to their cost center.
Futhi ke labo ke bazokwazi noma bazokhona kuphela ke ukuthi babone imoto abayisebenzisayo abasebenza ngazo noma abanelungelo lokuthi ke bayibone.
Just to make it simple, that a specific police station will only have access to that police station's vehicle, and certain divisions within that police station will only have access to their specific division's vehicle. So it's not everybody seeing everybody's vehicles.
Ukwenza nje ukuthi ke kubelula ke ukuchaza ke lokho ukuthi ke isiteshi esithize samaphoyisa isona ke esizokhona ke ukuthi siboneke izimoto zabo ke futhi ke uhlaka ke oluthule noma ke i-unit ethile kuleyo police station leyo bazobona izimoto eziwa ngaphansi kwaleyo unit leyo, akusi ukuthi ubani uzobona ke abheke noma yini.
All this data collated over a period of time is then stored in a database.
Futhi konke ke yonke le mininingwane manje ke ese ihlanganisiwe ke etholakele ngesikhathi noma ngokuhamba ke kwesikhathi izo ifakwa ke kuloko kubizwa ngokuthi ke i-database.
And from in with this data, users, authorized users, can gain access to historical data of a vehicle for a defined period.
Futhi ke laba abaselungelweni ke noma abavumelekile ke ukuthi babheke ke noma basebenzise lezo imoto lezo ke bazokhona ukuthi manje babheke ke isikhathi ke esithize bebheka imoto ethize.
Hence, users being available to compile data like we have in court today, giving detailed data of a vehicle over a period of time, though it be a number of years later.
Ingakho ke labo ke abavumelekile ke noma ke abanelungelo ke bekhona ke noma bekwazi ke ukuthi manje baletheke lokhu ezizwe nako ke la enkantolo namhlanje ke lombiko ke noma ke le data ke noma sekudlule isikhathi seminyaka ethize.
I think that's about the system in a nutshell, my lord.
Indlela ke isystem leyo esebenza ngayo.
And once the registered users are able to access the data, how is that information then packaged?
My lord, depending on the type of report compiled, and I'll use the reports in question we have in front of us today.
Kuya ngokuthi ke umbiko okanjani ke ngokufuna ukwazi ke uma ngabe leyo umbiko manje usohlanganisiwe ke ugcinwa kanjani ke kuya ngokuthi umbiko kanjani ke ngizosebenzisa lona ke engize nawo la enkantolo namuhla.
The report will be compiled based on a specific vehicle identification or registration number.
Umbiko uzohlanganiswa ke uma kuya ngokuthi ke no osikunikiwe ke noma imininingwane esinikiwe yemoto okufana ke ne registration
And a period of time.
kanye futhi nesikhathi imoto lesi esetshenziswe ngaso.
On requesting the report, a command is executed whereby data for this period is then extracted from the database.
Uma ke kutholakala ke isicelo noma umbiko lona ke kukhishwa ke umbiko ngokumayela nesikhathi esithize.
It is then provided in a visible format on a computer screen.
Bese iyakhishwa ke la ibonakala khona ke ku screen se computer,
from where the user can then print such document in a PDF format.
bese kuthi loyo ke manje uyakwazi ke ukuthi uyayiprinta ke noma lokho kubonayo ke ku computer uyaprinta kule format ke ebizwa ngokuthi noma kule ndlela ke ebizwa ngokuthi i-PDF.
And the document can be reproduced a number of times in the exact same format with the exact same data. So what I'm trying to say is it's reproducible, and it would be the same if whether I produce it today or I produce it in 3 years' time or I produce it for 3 years ago, it would be the same data.
Noma ke ungayenza ke noma isikhathi sesithini ke noma ungakhipha namuhla kweminyaka elandelayo ke emithathu noma kwiminyaka endlulile emithathu izophuma ingendlela eyodwa, kusho ukuthi ke angeke kushintshe lutho.
Did you receive a request in this matter regarding a specific vehicle?
That is correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi isicelo ngasithola ke kuleli cala mayela nemoto ethize.
And upon receiving these requests, what did you do?
My lord, upon receiving the request, we extracted the data from the SAP's AVL database.
Uma sesisicelo leso sicelo leso ke sayikhipha ke i-data leyo ke kwi-AVL ye-SAPS
and produced a paper copy we have here today.
esasikhipha ke amakhophi ke ephepha ke noma ke paper copy le esinayo ke la namuhla.
You're referring to exhibit MM2 in brackets A, the one that you've printed.
That is correct, my lord.
Khuluma ngalena ke engiyiprintile.
There's also an A3 version, exhibit MM2. Can you just identify that for us?
Yes, my lord. This version MM2 is an exact copy of the version or the documents I compiled. This is just in a different form factor, being that it was printed on A3 paper with a lot of the headings and stuff removed to gain real estate, to have more data on a single page.
Lena ke enkulu ke esinayo ke ekuyilena ke esetshenziswayo ke la enkantolo iyona ke ngamashi lena ke mina ke engiyiprintileke ukuthi nje umehluko ke kuyona ke ukukhishwe nje ama topics la kubhaliwe ke khona ke ngaphezulu kodwa yona futhi yenziwe ke kwi-A3.
Can you just perhaps explain to the court what information is supplied by the C-track system?
My Lord, the information supplied would be the vehicle itself, the registration of it,
Imininingwane ezokhishwa ke iyona ke usitrack lona ke imayela nemoto i-registration.
it will also reflect the bobby number as we refer it to, that's the B registration plate linked to that specific registration number.
Futhi ke izokhipha ke lokuthi na ke esikubiza ke njenge bobby number ile B registration plate iyayo ke imoto leyo.
It will also then display the date and the time.
Izochaza ke ilanga noma ke i-date kanye nesikhathi.
The vehicle status is reflected, and the vehicle status would be, is the vehicle driving, is it switched off, what is the vehicle doing at that particular date and time.
Isizochaza ke nesimo ke sayo imoto masikhuluma ngesimo ke sikhuluma ngokuthi imoto iyahamba, imoto imile, imoto iyaduma ngaleso sikhathi leso.
It will also display the speed and the odometer of the vehicle, the odometer being the delta that refers to the distance traveled between two positions.
Isizochaza ke nesivinini imoto ehamba ngaso ke ibese ichaza ke naloko kubizwa ngokuthi i-auto ke ibanga ke phakathi kweindawo ezimbili ezahlukene imoto ehambile ngaleso sikhathi.
And then the location of the vehicle is reflected as a point of reference on the map and also a longitude and latitude.
Bese chaza ke i-location noma ke indawo leyo ke kwi-map ke engathi ke imoto etholakala ekuyona noma la ikhona.
And how does the AVL system works? What events are described and reported by the AVL unit?
My Lord, if I can try and put them in some form of logical order, it would show the vehicle starting.
Mangaqala ngalendlela ngisho ngalendlela ke izotshengisa ke imoto uma iduma dunyiswa.
Then it would show the vehicle when it's driving.
Izotshengisa ke imoto uma ihamba.
It will show the vehicle when it's stationary but still idling.
Izotshengisa ke imoto uma imile kodwa isaduma.
It will show the driver behavior in the form of either overspeeding or harsh braking.
Izotshengisa ke nesimo ke somshayeli ke lana sikhuluma ngokuthi ke weqile kwisivinini noma futhi ke indlela ke abamba ngayo ama brake.
And then it will show the vehicle being switched off again, the ignition being off.
Izotshengisa ke noma ke imoto ise icishwa ke ingasadumi.
And then obviously there would be various alarm types. For instance, if the battery is disconnected, it would give you a battery tamper.
Noma ukuthi ke mhlambi ke kunenkinga ekhona ke ebhetrini ke izokutshela ke ukuthi ke kukhona ke okwenzakeleke noma okwenzakalayo ngayo ibhetri.
I think that's about the highlights of the statuses being available.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ke yilokho ke ekhuluma ke noma kusho ke ngesimo ke sayo.
Right, and can we maybe ask you to explain the various terminology like GPS unlock?
My Lord, the term GPS unlock, and maybe I should just go one back. For a GPS to give a position,
Uma ngabuya la umuva ke uma khulunywa nge-GPS unlocked. Ukuthi ke GPS ikunikeze ke i-location noma indawo ke.
That specific receiver in the C-track unit
Leyo ke itholayo noma lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke i-receiver kuyona ke i-unit leyo ye-C-track.
needs to receive data from a number of GPS satellites orbiting the Earth.
Ifanele ke ukuthi ke ithole ke manje ke noma ke ithole ke kuma satellite ahlukene kodwa ingatholi kweyodwa i-satellite.
How many satellites, more or less?
To give a position with a longitude, latitude, and altitude, you would need a minimum of 4 satellites data to being available.
Kuzodingeka ke ukuthi ke uthole ke i-data ke kuma satellites angawu-4.
Given the device have 4 satellites available, we will give an accurate longitude, latitude, and altitude, which is then reverse geocoded to a point on a map, which will then give you a coordinate.
Lokho ke uma sewutholike lama satellites awu-4 ke wona ke manje isizokunikeza ke indawo osungaqela noma ubheke kuyona ke kuyona i-map noma lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke i-coordinate.
In the absence of data from 4 or more satellites, the system would not be able to give longitude, latitude, and altitude, and in the absence of such, we would then refer to a status as GPS unlock.
Manje ke uma kuwukuthi ke awutholi ke imininingwane ke noma ke i-data ke kulama satellites awu-4 noma ke angaphezulu kwawu-4 yilapho ke manje esizokunikeza ke isimo noma ke i-status lesi ke la ishoyo ukuthi manje i-GPS unlocked.
While in this GPS unlock state, the last valid position recorded would be the prevailing position.
Usekuyena ke lowo GPS unlocked indawo yokugcina ke kuzoba ke iyona ke leyo ke noma indawo leyo yangaleso sikhathi.
And that's only being done because that is the last valid data being available, my lord.
Ngoba ke lokho kuzobe ke kuyiyona ke idata yokugcina ke esebe engasetshenziswa noma ekhona ke ngaleso sikhathi leso.
And can a driver of a vehicle tamper with the system in any way?
My lord, these devices are installed in out of sight and without the driver or the user of the vehicle knowing where it is installed. So it is, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's unlikely that a individual would just fiddle with it.
Umshushu sifuna ukwazi ke ukuthi uyakwazi yini umshayeli wemoto ukuthi ke angaphazamisana ke nokusebenza kwale ndlela ke noma nokusebenza ke kwale system. Mephendula ke uthi uma ngabe isifakwa ke kuleyo moto efakwa kuyona ke ifakwa kungekho ke obonayo noma ke akaboni ke asisho ke mshayeli kodwa nje ayibona uma ngabe ifakwa indawo le efakwa kuyona ke uthi angeke athi ke akusiyona into engeke yenzekeke kodwa ke nje akacabangi nje na ke ukuthi kayinto ke elula ke nje ukuthi umuntu angayenza ukuthi aphazamisane ke nokusebenza kwale system.
And can the data that is stored on the numerous, the SITA, as we explained, be tampered with in any way?
My lord, without a very intimate knowledge of the system, it is virtually impossible. The data is protected by various firewalls, encryption. It is stored in an environment that is designed to store data, and then data is also stored in a very definite sequence.
Kunzima kakhulu ke usiyabiza ukuthi manje kwiBLD ke noma kwindawo noma isitha le uyichazileke khona ke lapho kulula yini ukuthi ke uphazamise nje ukusebenza kwalendlela ke uthi ke uma ke ungenalo ke ulwazi olujulileke lokusebenza kwayo le system lena ke uthi into nje engalula ke ukuthi ungayenza ke futhi nangendlela futhi egcinwa ngayo nendawo ke egcinwa kuyona ke.
Hence, if somebody tries to alter data the chronological order of data would appear out of sequence and out of logical reason, which will then reflect as tampered with. And you can always go back and just compile a new report, and the original will be there if somebody finds means to tamper with it.
Uma kuwukuthi ke umuntu uthola indlela ke yokuthi ke aphazamisana ke nokusebenza kwayo ke izothi uma iphuma ke ila uzoyibona khona ke ukuthi ke ukulandelelana ke kwenzeka ke kwezahlakalo noma kwezinto ke ila usungakho khona ke ukuthi ubuyele emuva ke manje uyoyikhipha ke kahle ke ngendlela yokulandelelana kwayo.
You mentioned that the user can access data on the numerous system. Are there any requirements for a user to access such data?
My Lord, yes. Within the South African Police Service, they have very specific protocol whereby a user must be authorized if he would first apply in a form of a document. He would then be authorized by a number of officers before he can just get access, and that access then is then granted based on his authorization on vehicle or organizational type.
Lana ke ukuthi ngaphakathi ke emaphoyiseni basebenza kanjani ke ukuthi umuntu atholeke le information noma le mininingwane ke banezindlela zabo ke abayilandelayo ngaphakathi ke emaphoyiseni ukuthi umuntu ke oqala ke kuzofaneleke ukuthi ke atholeke imvume noma ke igunya ke lokuthi ke akwenzeke lokho, futhi ke uzondlula ke kubantu abahlukene ke abazomnikeza ke bona lokho, futhi ke uzochaza ke ngokwesikhathi ke futhi nangokwemininingwane ukuthi yini ayifunayo.
Is there a way to determine who access the data?
My Lord, yes, there's record of every transaction. So every time a person logs in, he needs to authenticate himself by a username and a password, and that is logged in a log file. It would therefore be easy to say who logged on when and was doing what.
Futhi ke kunendlela ke yokulandelela ke noma yokuthola ke ukuthi bekuwubani ke ologe in noma ke osebenzileke lana, ngokuthi futhi kuzofanele ke efake lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke igama lakhe noma i-username kanye futhi ke ne-password. Kuzoba lula ke kumlandelela ke kamuva ukubheka ke ukuthi ngesikhathi esithize ngelanga elithile ubani obengenile noma ke ethole ekhipha imininingwane.
Are there any registration requirements for such users?
My Lord, each member that is granted access is registered against these South African Police Services profile with his force number, name detail, unit detail. So it's his whole pedigree is registered against that user.
Futhi ke umuntu osebenzisa ke noma ke okwaziyo ke ukuthi abe user ke lapho imininingwane yakhe yonke nje ngaphakathi ke eyasemaphoyiseni, i-force number yakhe, igama lakhe, isikhundla sakhe noma ukuthi ke i-unit yakhe ke yonke leyo mininingwane ikhona.
You have compared the data that you have compiled, MM2A, against Exhibit MM2, the A3 version. What is your
My Lord,
view regarding
my Lord, this is an
the
exact
exhibit?
copy of the data. There's a 100% match in data. The only difference is that the police insignia was removed from the document and the wording movement report. But as for the physical data that is recorded, it is a exact match.
This was moved from this one.
Yeah. So
Okay. Uthi ke uma ukhathanisa lokho kubili ke ukuthi nje into eyodwa ke lena ke uthi ngathi ke 100% umehluko nje ukuthi la kunale yamaphoyisa ke tshengisayo ukuthi amaphoyisa engekho ke khona lana kanye futhi nalana bhaliwe movement report, kodwa njena into nje eyodwa le ama documents amabili.
Do you confirm the correctness of the report that you've compiled or that you've printed, Exhibit MM2 in brackets A and Exhibit MM2?
I do confirm the correctness, my lord.
Futhi ke ngiyaqinisekisa ke nokuthi ke lokhu ke okhona ke kule ku MM2A lona ke okuwami no MM2 ukuthi ke ngempela ke kukanjalo noma kuyiqiniso.
If I can ask you to turn to page 6 of exhibit MM2A on the 19th of June. My lord, I see that it's time for the long adjournment.
Is that so?
Yes. Can we then take the long adjournment at this point?
Are you available after lunch, sir?
Excuse me, my lord.
Are you available after lunch?
Yes, I do. I will be available, my lord.
Yeah, because I hear that you're squeezed for time, like all capitalists. Okay, 2 o'clock then.
The court pleases, my lord. Mr. Dupree, for the unit in the vehicle to communicate with that minimum of 4 satellites as you've testified, so I'm going to see the interpreters, and I think he's just outside. Now, Mr. Dupree, for a unit fitted in a vehicle to communicate with a minimum of 4 satellites, as you've mentioned, that are orbiting the sky, does that depend on the position of the vehicle? In other words, whether the position is stationary or moving?
My lord, the status of the vehicle, whether it's moving or being stationary, does not impact on the receiver's ability to receive data from this GPS satellites.
Ukuthi ke imoto imile imoto iyahamba lokho ke akunamthelela ke ekuthini ke lona ke othola ke information noma ke i-data ukuthi ke angayitholi ke leyo mininingwane mayelana nemoto.
So in other words, the GPS unlock doesn't depend on whether the vehicle is stationary or in motion?
No, my lord, it doesn't depend on whether the vehicle is stationary or not, as long as the device in the vehicle is in its on position, then it will allow for that, or not on position, let me rephrase, rather the device must be on to receive data, not the vehicle, the device.
Lana ke ukuthi ke imoto imile nokuthi ke imoto ke noma ke u-GPS unlock lona ke akana na ukuthi ke imoto imile noma ke ayihamba ukuthi nje imoto yona ke uma nje na ke i-on.
If I can ask you to turn to page 6 of your bundle, exhibit MM2A.
19.
On the 19th of June. The cross-reference for exhibit MM2, the A3, will be pages 34 to 36.
Got it, my lord.
Yes, thank you. On page 6 of exhibit your bundle, MM2A, at 05:02 and 10 seconds, what is the position of the vehicle?
My lord, the vehicle is near Benviljoen Street in Pretoria North.
Lana ke kule ndawo engibuzwa ngayo ngazo ke i-19 days ke zika June 2020 isikhathi ke imizuzu emibili eshayile u5 ekseni imoto ke iyaphuma ngisho kafakazi ke eBent noma eseduze kwaseBentville Street ePretoria North.
The coordinates, if plotted, plots it at the Pretoria North Police Station, just outside.
Lana ke ichaza ngokuthi ke ePretoria North Police Station ngaphandle.
Right, the vehicle then left the police station. If one looks at page 10 of your bundle, Exhibit MM2A, did you find the position?
I've got it, my lord.
Yes. Now, between the 2 points, from page 6, when the vehicle left the police station, until at about 6:20 and 50 seconds on page 10. Is there any indication that the vehicle deviated along that route between the 2 points? In other words, is there any indication that it left its route?
My lord, given the route or the vehicle traveling, there's no evidence that this vehicle did anything out of the ordinary except travel on the road towards its destination where it arrived at 6:20.
Lana ke uma uhlanganisa le inkathi ke lana ngalelanga lange 19 zika June 2020 isikhathi ke u5:02 la ethi khona ke ise Bentville bese siya lana ke kubhalwe khona ke u6:20 ngathi iyofika ke la iyakhona ke ngo6:20 ama seconds awu50 ngalelo langa lelo. Uthi ke abukho ubufakazi obukhona obutshengisayo noma obushoyo ke ukuthi le moto lena ke yaphambana noma yaphuma ke emzileni noma emgwaqweni kula eyayiya khona.
Okay. If I can ask you to turn to still on your exhibit bundle MM2A on the 18th of June. That will be pages 13 to 18. On page 13 of your bundle, MM2A, at 18:53 on page 13.
I've got it, my lord.
On exhibit MM2 will be page 31. What is the position of the vehicle at 18 53 54 as appears on page 13 of
The
your
location
bundle.
reference, my lord, is near Murray Street, Verwoerd Park in Alberton.
ngokwalana ke umbiko lona ke lo ozenayo ufakazi hayi lo omkhulu la inkantolo ukuthi imoto ke ngalesi sikhathi ngazo i18 zika June 2020 isikhathi u1853 amaseconds awu54 imoto iseduze nase Murray Street eForwood Park eAlberton.
Are you in the position to plot the exact position?
My lord,
the vehicle.
that position plotted reference it to a engine garage in the vicinity.
Uma ngachaza eyona ndawo ke la eyayikhona ke noma eyichaza ukuthi yayikhona kwakuyi garage yakwa engine khona lapho kuleyo ndawo.
And at what point does the vehicle start moving?
My lord, that vehicle was stationary at that particular point for the remainder of the 18 up to 23:27 when the ignition was switched off.
Imoto leyo ke yayilapho ke nje ungathi nje lelala ngake lange18 kwaze kwayoshaya ke u23:27 kusho ukuthi ke ebusuku ke kwaze kwayisikhathi la khona ke ignition iqishwa noma imoto yona ke iqishwa khona.
Only the next morning of the 19th, early morning, at around 23 minutes past 12, did the vehicle leave that point.
Isikhathi ke ngelanga ke manje elilandelayo ke u0023 isikhathi ke imoto isuka ke manje khona lapho kuleyo ndawo.
That we see on page 1 of your exhibit bundle, MM2A, on the 19th.
That is correct, my lord.
Etholakala ke lo mniningwane leyo ke ku page 1 kule yami ke ibundle.
Can you also place those seconds on record?
My lord, the vehicle was the first time recorded speed at 23 minutes past 12 that night. It left that location of Murray Street in Verwoerd Park, Alberton.
Isikhathi ke u0023 uma imoto ke isuka ke manje lapha yana ngazo i19 zika June 2020 isuka lapha yana ke eForwood Park eAlberton.
Is it correct that it's 23 minutes past 12 and 20 seconds?
That is correct, my lord.
U20 mizuzu u23 eshayileke u12 nama seconds awu20.
And what is the total number of hours that the vehicle spent at that engine garage?
My lord, the vehicle was there from just about 7 minutes to 7 till the 7 minutes to 7 on the 18th up to 23 minutes past 12 the next morning. So that would make it 5 hours and a number of minutes that the vehicle was in that area.
Imoto yema ke khona lapha yana ngemizuzu ke o7 ngaphambi kokuthi kushayeke u7 ngazo i18 ka June 2020 yase ke ehamba ke uma isikhathi sithi 23 emva ko12 ke ukusho ukuthi ke amahora awu5 nemizuzu ke isikhathi yayisimile imoto lapha.
And on the last page of exhibit MM2, the A3 version, on the 24th of June.
Sorry, it's MM2.
MM2, the last page, my lord.
Which is page what?
Page 43.
33.
43.
Sorry, 43, yeah, fine.
43, on the 24th of June. And just for record purposes, Mr. Dupree, just place the registration number of this vehicle and the the BTL number.
The registration number of this vehicle is Foxtrot Victor 47 Lima Romeo Golf Papa.
Inamba ke yale moto ke FV 47 LRGP.
And the Bobby number would be Bravo Tango Lima 719 Bravo.
Bese kuthi ke I Bobby number bese kuba BTL 719B.
And what is the position of the vehicle then on the 24th of June 2020?
My Lord, on the 24th of June, this vehicle was at the Benoni garage near Great North Road, or Great Road North in Northmead, Benoni for the entire day.
Le moto ke ngazo i24 zika Hlangulana ke kuona unyaka ka 2020 ilanga lonke njena ke langa i24 yayise garage ke yase Benoni duze ne Great Road North and Northmead.
And on the 23rd, 24th and 25th?
My Lord, on these days identified from the 22nd up to the 25th, this vehicle was stationary for the entire day, every time at this location being near Great Road North, Northmead, Benoni.
Ukusuka ngazo ke i22 kuJune 2020 kwaze bayoshaya ke i25 kena uJune 2020 le moto ke yayimile khona lapho kule ndawo engikhuluma ngayo kule garage yase Benoni eduze ne Great Road North and Northmead eBenoni.
And are you able, using the coordinates, to determine the exact location?
My Lord, if I use those coordinates, it takes me to the exact location, being the Benoni garage, where our installers frequently work, so we're well acquainted with that garage.
Uma ke ngisebenzisa ke lama coordinates abhaliwe ke lana ke lokho kungithatha ke kuyongifiqisa ke kwi garage yethu eseBenoni lapho kama installer ethu ke asebenza khona ke indawo ke leya engiyaziyo.
Do you know if there's any repair work done at the garage?
My Lord, that is a SAP's garage where various work is being done on vehicles for repairs and receiving new vehicles, and also working on vehicles that's been in service.
Leyana ke igarage ke amaphoyisa elapha yana eBenoni la besebenza khona ke ngeimoto bamukela ke imoto futhi nje umsebenzi kufanele wenziwe weimoto khona.
If you say repairs, are you referring to what type of repairs?
That would be any type of repairs, mechanical repairs, anything related to a SAP's vehicle can be done there.
Yonke into ke emayelana ke nemoto yamaphoyisa yenziwa khona lapho.
And just finally, on page 44 of Exhibit MM2, '44 will be the other part of Exhibit MM2. That is now on the early hours of the 20th of June 2020. Find it, the loose page 44. Yeah, okay. We see that from, just for record purposes, where's the vehicle at that particular time?
My Lord, at the time of the startup at 2 minutes past 39 seconds, the vehicle was at Bukeng SAPS. The coordinates are plotted.
Ngokwale lana ke ngazo i20 zika June 2020 isikhathi ke mibili ke imizuzu eshayile u12 imoto ke iyadunyiswa ke noma iyastarta ke kumaphoyisa asePhukeng.
And we see that the vehicle goes into GPS unlock position from what time until what time?
My Lord, the vehicle was in a GPS unlock status from 7 minutes and 40 seconds past 12 up to 7 minutes and 55 seconds past 3 on the 20th.
Siyabona ke lana sorry imoto ibhaliwe ke ukuthi ke yayile mode ke ku-GPS unlocked ukusuka ke ngemizuzu ewu7 eshayile ke u12 nama seconds awu40 kwaze kwayoshaya ke imizuzu ewu7 eshayile u3 ndatha kuso nama seconds awu55.
But when a vehicle is in a GPS unlock status, what is the position regarding the recording of data?
Whilst a vehicle is in a GPS unlock status, the last valid recorded position would be recorded or reflected as the position until such time that a new valid position can be recorded.
Uma ke imoto ikulesa status noma lesa simo ke sika GPS unlocked izochaza ke indawo ke yokugcina ke la imoto ibikhona ke noma ke ebe record ikhona kuze kube isikhathi la khona ke imoto ifika kwenye ke indawo noma ke position entsha.
Is there any data recorded during that period?
The status of the vehicle, meaning whether the ignition is on or off, is being recorded, but no speed and position would be recorded during such time.
Ngaleso sikhathi ke imoto yona ke engeke nje ibhaleke noma ke ichazeke indawo ke kanye nespeed ke sayo.
Thank you, Malata. Those are the only aspects that the state wanted this witness to cover.
Okay, thanks. Yes, Mr. Mzulu.
God, please.
Sir, when you is it one of your duties to install or to fit the AVL or the
My Lord,
device in the motor vehicle?
Me as a person, no, I do oversee. I have a team of people performing such duties, but me as individual, no, I do not install.
Mina ke angiwafaki ke noma system ke AVL kodwa ke ngiyabheka ke ngiyabuka ke nginabantu ke abangenzelayo lo.
All right. After the fitting of the same device, do you issue a certificate? Or do they issue a certificate?
After the fitment of each device, a installation certificate is compiled, and such certificate is then recorded against that specific certificate number, and that is eventually, after the installation, it is handed to the SAPS.
Uma sefakiwe ke system leyo ke kune certificate ke esikhishwayo kube ne number ke ekhishwa leso certificate leso uma ke sefakiwe ke bese yanikezwa ke leso certificate sinikezwa khona ke amaphoyisa.
Perhaps do you have the number for the certificate?
No, I don't have that number, my lord.
Amnayo ke leyo number.
Any copy for the certificate?
My lord, a copy would be obtainable, but I don't have a copy with me.
Amnayo la mina ke copy kodwa icopy ngatholakala.
When were you told to come and testify or to give evidence in relation to MM2 AVL?
Yesterday, my lord.
Ngitshelwe noma ngitshelwe izolo ke ukuthi angize ngizonikeza ngobufakazi.
What time was it? What time were you informed at that time?
My lord, it would have been during the morning. I did not record the exact time, but somewhere yesterday morning I was informed.
Bekuyizolo ekseni ke isikhathi ngisibhala ngaphansi ukuthi ngitshelwe nini noma ngitshelwe nini ukuthi angize ngikade ngizonikezwa ngizokuthola ubufakazi.
All right. Your position at C-Track company, what's your position there?
I'm the Chief Operations Officer, my lord.
Shilo ke ukuthi mina ke obhekene ke nemisebenzi ke welanga nelanga lokubizwa ukuthi Chief Operations Officer.
Who are you reporting under?
I'm reporting to the Chief Executive Officer.
mina ke umuntu engaphansi kwakhe ke lo bizwa ngokuthi CEO.
What is his name?
Mr. Heinjord.
Mr.
Heinjord.
Umnumzana uHein Yort.
Does he know that we are here?
He does know indeed, my lord.
Ngempela uyazi ukuthi ngila.
When we were informed about this, when you were informed to come and testify, and that was the time when you began to prepare yourself for this.
That is correct, my lord.
Kathi ngitshelwa ukuthi kuzofanele ukuthi ngize ngizokuthula ubufakazi yileso sikhathi ke engiye ngayilungiselela khona ke.
Do you still need necessary time to uplift that certificate in order to confirm that the said motor vehicle you are talking about was fitted with the GPS?
My lord, the fitment and the installation certificate is recorded within the SAPS environment against a what they call it, the SAPS vehicle register. So for that reason, I did not foresee the need for any form of proof that the vehicle was fitted other than the recordings of the movement report as we have it in front of us.
I-certificate lesi sikhuluma ngaso ke certificate esikhishwa ke ngaphakathi ke emaphoyiseni. Mina ke angibonanga ke isidingo ke sokuthi ngibe naso ke noma ngisilethe certificate leso noma ngibe naso kumina ke ngoba ke ikhona ke noma khona ke lo mbiko lo engisebenza noma enginikeza ubufakazi ngawo.
But any records at your disposal?
Just again,
Any records that you have before it is kept on the database of the SAPS? Is there any piece or any file that you keep in your archives reflecting the information relating to that motor vehicle?
my lord, the information that we are talking on here all belongs to SAPS. So we as C-Track don't keep record of that because it is an entire enclosed system for the SAPS fleet.
Lana ke lo mbiko sikhuluma ngawo ke report esikhuluma ngayo ke yaba-SAPS thina ke siwu-C-Track asinayo ke la esigcina khona ke noma esinayo khona ke konke lokho sikhuluma ngako la phakathi emaphoyiseni.
My Lord, may I have just a second to peruse the MM2? Maybe I might have one question before I sit down. Okay, the last question is, if a motor vehicle is driving, maybe for a period of 10 minutes, will it show that it was driving at a certain speed, at a certain order?
My lord, the device in the vehicle is alive all the time and measures the speed at second intervals, but given the amount of data, the vehicle will only report that position and speed at a defined interval as set out by the SAPS. In this case, the vehicle will report either every 5 minutes or when there is a change in heading, meaning the vehicle makes a turn to the left, to the right, or it changes its direction.
Indaba ke speed noma esivinini ke lokho izokusho ke noma asithi mhlambe sisebenzise lana ke ukuthi mhlambe ngesikhathi ke esiyimizuzu emihlanu noma ukuthi mhlambe iyashintsha ke manje isizojika ke ayisahambi ke ngale mgwaqo bihamba ngayo kunenkathi ke la khona ke ispeed esizoveza noma esikhonjiswe khona.
And during such reporting, it would then report the speed of the vehicle as well.
Uma yenza ke leyo mbiko ke izobika ke kanye nesivinini ke noma ispeed semoto.
All right. Let me just draw your attention on on June 18, 2020. I'm not sure what page is that.
I'll get it. If you just give me the time as well, then I'll...
The time is 8:24. (8:24). Do you see that? Or is it check?
8:24.
826.
Yeah, 26, 824.
This page.
Yeah, I got it there. On the 18th, 824, 55 seconds, my lord.
It's 824. It says driving. The
That
car
is
was
correct.
Driving, the kilometer is 0 and the order is 0.
Yeah, that means the vehicle is stationary because there's no speed.
Lana ke ko nge 18th ka June 2020 isikhathi u824 ithi imoto iyahamba kodwa ke ispeed ithi 0 ne order na ithi 0 kuthi ke mayiphendula ke kusho ukuthi imoto yayimileke.
If it says 829 XL idle, it is still stationary.
It's still stationary. The vehicle would report excess idle. It would first status after it started. It would report a driving status, and if the vehicle remains at the same location without moving, the excess idle status would then be recorded after the driving status.
Nanjengoba lana ke ku 829 ithi ke excess idle kusho ukuthi yayiduma ke kodwa kuno 00 okusho ukuthi ayimile ngoba izoqala izothi iqala ke isho ukuthi ke iya driver ke kodwa uma sekuyisikhathi ke futhi ke iseme kuleyo ndawo leyo ke ila esizoveza khona ukuthi iyaduma loya excess idle.
Is it still the same position with 834?
My lord, if we look at the GPS coordinates, it is very much still the same location where the vehicle is.
Uma sibheka egcineni ke lapha yana ke ila esichazela khona ukuthi imoto ikuphi ke nendawo usabona ke ukuthi ke kuseyindawo eyodwa.
Thank you, my lord. No further questions.
Thanks. Yes, Mr. Music.
Sorry, just one question. So can you, if you know, can you clarify what is mapping is?
What?
Mapping in relation to service.
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
No, let me just withdraw the questions.
Thank you, sir. Now I realize that your AVL records or the records that were submitted to court, this AVL records and the bundle that you probably yourself prepared always refer to these places as near Waverley Road, Highland, North Johannesburg, near Maxwell Road, Cresford, Johannesburg. What does this near in the context of this AVL mean?
My lord, it just so happens that that was a confusion that was created, and the letter of the word becoming a point of contest in court. Because a vehicle, we would say the vehicle is at, let's say, Madiba Street, or in Madiba Street. But if I'm on the pavement of Madiba Street, the argument is, am I still in Madiba Street or am I in near Madiba Street? So the term was changed to near to rule out any, I don't want to call it silly points of argument, but points of argument to say it is in the street, it is next to the street, so the term near to the street, my lord, was decided on.
Uma ke sekusetshenziswa leli gama ke elithi eduze into ke nje lena ke noma idida ke eyavela njena ke enkantolo ke noma ke uma sekukwethulwa noma kunezethulo ezikhona enkantolo kuthiwa noma ke asebenzisa isibonelo sala ngaphambi kwenkantolo eMadiba ukuthi uma pavement usesemadiba yini noma useduze kwayo kwase kunqunywa ke ukuthi akusetshenziswe leli gama ke elithi eduze.
In the end, the coordinate is a specific point, and that would be the exact location, my lord.
Bese kuthi ke yona ke lena ke echazelayo noma ebizwa ngokuthi i-coordinate yona ke ikhuluma ngendawo ethize yona ke leyo ndawo eshiwoyo.
So what you're saying is, on the reading of this AVL record, one cannot specifically say that at this point in time, this vehicle was at this specific place. It's just a speculative hypothesis that it could have been near this area.
No,
It's the opposite.
my lord. The vehicle, the point of reference being near is for us to understand it was near the street to give us a grasp of where the vehicle was. But if somebody is looking for the exact point, we use the coordinate.
The
Which will
coordinate is
pinpoint.
scientifically infallible.
Yeah.
Must be.
Mase sebenzisake le gama elithi eduze alisho ukuthi nje ukage ukuthi imoto ikuphi, iyachazela ukuthi imoto ikuphi ke nendawo. Kodwa uma ukuthi ufuna eyona ke indawo ayiloko kubizwa ngokuthi ama coordinate ke kubhaliwe ke lapha yana egcineni ke yila echazela khona ukuthi imoto ikuphi nendawo.
You know the reason why I'm asking you this, sir, it is on record, and it doesn't come from me, it is on record, that at a particular point in time, in the course of the investigation of this case, there was a movement of this specific motor vehicle along a certain road, it's Alberton. But at one point in time, the said motor vehicle deviated to a dumping place where certain incidents took place there. I don't think that will be relevant for your purposes. Now, that's the reason why I am saying, is this system, this AVL system, is it able to specifically say that at this point in time, this motor vehicle was at this place? Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I fully
Thank
follow.
you.
My lord, in response to that, I would say the coordinates, if the unit is...
Sorry, you know what? Please, just explain what the coordinates are.
Yeah,
Then we'll be all on the same park, all park.
my lord, coordinates is a longitude and latitude
That's it.
that the tracking device receiver received from these satellites. And in that, it is plotted on a geographical map to say this vehicle, these coordinates, let's use just any latitude 281900 and longitude 281900 and latitude minus 25.7866. If we take those coordinates and we plot them on a map, we will be on a defined point on a map, on a road, in your example, on a dumping site, if it is. So my response would be, if there is such a reference of time and place, if the time and place is on these records, then we would be able to show it.
Kuloko khulumayo ke ukuthi le moto ke yahamba ke yaya ke kulapha khona ke izibike uma ukuthi nganginikeza isikhathi ke ngikezeke idate noma ukuthi uma kukhona ke lana kuloko sizohamba ke siyokubona ke lokho ngoba uma uthatha ke lokho okubhaliwe ke lana okubizwa ngokuthi ama coordinates okuchazela ke indawo isibonelo ulo 281900 minus 257866 uma ukuthatha ke lokho usukubeka ke ukufaka ke kwi map uzosho ke ukuthi yikuphi nendawo.
Thank you. My Lord, may I just request a very 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds of indulgence, my Lord. So
No,
something that I need to take up with my colleagues.
Madiba is resurrected.
Excuse me, my Lord.
I say you can go on until Madiba is resurrected.
Thank you.
But before he comes to that, I mean, the extension of logic of what you're saying, if you have access, I mean, if you have reference to this AVL system, like for instance, the history of the movement of the car, the starting, the stopping, etc., it's mapped out on this page, right?
Correct, model.
Let's assume this page is the 28th of June, 2020. Is it possible for you, using the very information here, from, let's say, a specific time like, let's say 4 o'clock in the afternoon, up to 12 o'clock in the evening, is it possible for you to decipher and discern and establish whether this motor vehicle was ever at a dumping place?
My lord, for sure.
That's true, yeah. We have to have that exercise.
Excuse the court, my lord. I think on behalf
Oh, you
of our
wanted to-
court, I'm just on this point, my
Yeah.
lord, because I can see it's getting to be a very contestable point. I've requested my colleagues because it has got to do with accused number 2.
No, no, fine.
So they are requesting an indulgence just to have a word or two with him.
No, no, fine.
Thank
No,
you.
no, but this gentleman is an expert. He's here to assist the court.
Yes, man.
Right. If he can do what I think he says he can do,
Yes.
why can't he assist us?
As it is the court, they are
Mr. Ngomar, are you with me?
they are quickly consulting with
Yeah.
with Mr. Ntanzi, my lord. The primary figure in this whole
Yeah, right.
Act 1 Sit 1.
Right.